Hey, good afternoon and welcome to the Cruise Amigos live from Scotland. We're trying to get live from Alaska, and we're having technical issues with Kim, who there's Kim up there in Alaska. Kim, can you hear us yet? Can you hear? She can't hear us. Okay, so I will go ahead
I don't
from
think
here.
it's going to happen, guys.
Okay, well, the thing that's sad is we can hear you if you could get back to where you can hear us. So, anyway, all right, I'm going to go ahead. Right over here next to me, right over here, that's Allison More. She's live from Scotland. And then over there on the other side of Allison, that's Amigo Martin, who came off his deathbed last week to come back to the Cruise Amigos live from Manchester. And down there strangling himself, that's Amigo John. He's up there in Crookston, Minnesota. And that's Kim Cameron, who we're trying to see if she can hear us. Can you hear us at all, Kim? She's on the Norwegian Encore up there in Alaska. Hello, Kim.
I can't hear a thing.
Can you hear us? Can you go back?
Okay, this isn't going to work, guys. They've started a loudspeaker behind me now.
Well, that's okay. That's on a cruise ship. We understand that. All right, let's do this. Let's see if she can you tell us what that is? I know she can't hear me. But while that's up, let me send her another message. Maybe that'll work.
That looks like the departure lounge before she went, I think.
Maybe I just said talk. Maybe she
She'll
get that.
Baby.
She's not getting the idea. Well, that's Kim obviously getting ready to get on the Norwegian Encore. And that's can you tell us what it is? Go ahead, Kim, talk, baby. She's not hearing us at all.
This is my brother and sister-in-law. We were waiting for our test results to come back. I wanted to show you how few there people were that were there. It was really a simple process.
Okay. Can you tell us what that one is? I think she's trying to hear us through Messenger. And I don't know what kind of delay there is. So, all right, maybe she'll tell us what that one is. I know what that one is after they sailed off.
I do love a good sunset.
Show the picture here, Chillie. Show my picture.
Oh, excuse me. Okay, I got to figure out how to do that. Show your picture. So I'll do solo. We hear you.
Go through the pictures. Through the pictures.
So let's go back. Exit solo. Kim, we hear you. Go ahead and talk. Say whatever.
So now put a picture up. So put a picture up.
She's not getting it.
Or maybe one more shot of me.
Okay.
All right.
Solo layout.
Talk through the pictures.
Okay, back to the pictures.
I lost her totally now. Yeah, she's completely gone. Oh, well. All right. Well, we tried.
Hi, my name is Kim, and this is a picture of the beautiful water.
Oh, yeah, I gotta get you off solo. We don't want you solo. Hell no, not when we got other guests here. The hell with John. Okay, folks, as you well know, is when you're trying to do live streaming, you have technical issues, especially from cruise ships. But that was supposed to be our friend Kim Cameron live from the Norwegian Encore that someplace in Alaska. Didn't even get to ask her where they are right now. But anyway, she's in Alaska someplace. All right. So we'll go on to the other part of the planned agenda, the live from Scotland part.
Yay.
And that's with
I'm matey.
Allison, who's an old hand at this.
Oh, not so much of the old.
Oh, excuse me. I didn't mean it that way. I meant it that you've been here before
A few
several
times.
times.
Yep.
So, yeah, with us, old is not you, clearly.
Experience. Let's use the word experience.
Yeah, well, that's a good thought. You have just gotten come on, tongue, work. You have just gotten off P&O's Iona.
I have yesterday, just disembarked yesterday.
About
Ooh,
the
look at that.
Iona.
So that's the brand new ship from P&O. This was just the 4th sailing since it's made in 3 weeks ago. And we were going on a 7 days Chase the Sun cruise. So we weren't going around the British Isles like the other cruises have done. We were heading off who knew where to chase the sun. And this is where we ended up. Right, followed it right down the coast of France, right along to the tip of Spain, then back up through the Bay of Biscay. So we couldn't have asked for a more perfect itinerary. We got sun for 6 days out of 7.
Oh,
I think when we hit the English Channel on Friday, the sun kind of disappeared a bit. But hey, we were
You
still
really
on a cruise.
didn't know where you were going?
Nope.
Mystery tour.
They had a little bit of a rough idea that they wanted to head towards the French coast in Spain, but we literally had no idea until the captain told us each day, this is what we're going to do tomorrow. So yeah, it was really, yeah. When he turned left, everybody gave a cheer. Yay.
I think that's awesome.
It was good. Yeah. So yeah, that was one just early afternoon up in a bar called the Crow's Nest, deck 17, I think it is on the Iona. There's about 18, 19 decks on the Iona. It's huge ship. Didn't get lost at all, not once. So every time we got lost, you just nip into a bar to find your bearings, and then for some reason you find your way.
Yeah, you mean to tell me that there was alcoholic beverages involved on this cruise?
And unfortunately, 30 bars and restaurants, Chillie.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh, my kind of ship.
So it was, wade your way through them through the week. I think I ticked off most of them more than once.
Okay, that's your
So
cabin.
this was
Oh,
the cabin.
look at that.
Excuse the mess. Just hastily unpacked. So this was deck 4, and this was a sea view cabin. So as you can see, it huge window, and a lovely big seat in front of the window as well. So these were apparently bigger than the balcony. A lot of the balcony cabins.
So it had a
wider.
sofa on this end, and it had
Sofa on this end that
love
turned into a
seat on the
sofa
other
bed.
end.
Yep, by the window, which was really comfy. And that huge big window. Yeah, it was just fantastic. So spacious.
That's a
Thoroughly
nice
recommend.
cabin. And by the way, before we continue with this, folks, I've got to do this. Let me see how I can do this without interrupting thing. I want everybody to know that I am wearing my new Emma Cruise's cat shirt for her kitty cat. So that's my commercial for Emma Cruise's. Let me get rid of me and get back to what we're doing.
You get royalties for that one, Chillie.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Emma's paying me advertising revenues. If you believe that, I got some land in Florida I'd love to sell you. Okay, where am I? That's a big entertainment venue.
Look at that.
That's the theatre, and as you can see, social distance is still going on the ship. So you can see the little blue stickers over. So they had them all set. So there were the seats that you couldn't sit on. So there's a fair few of the seats weren't available, but still, yeah, huge theatre. And there's parts over behind and to the right that you still can't see. So huge theatre.
So they had 2s and 3s. It looked like.
Yeah, 2s and 3s, John. So this is part of the atrium. Now the atrium went up 3 decks from 6 to 8. And as you can see, just top left there, that was probably deck 8, I think, the one above. But it was kind of on one side, it was open to the deck below, and you can see these huge vista windows. The atrium was a real hub on the Iona. Lots going on there, little bars just off it, little clubs just off it, coffee shops. Yeah, a real hub throughout the day and night.
Is this the side of the ship or the front of the ship?
This is in the middle, and it sort of goes to both sides, open to both sides.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was huge, but good atmosphere in the atrium. A good buzz about the place throughout the day and night. I say there was little Costa coffee shops and things like that on each of the decks, and yeah, it was a real hub. Lots and lots of seasons. That's back in the Crow's Nest. Another huge bar right the front of the ship, the Crow's Nest was.
Yeah.
Just kind of went round in a semicircle, but massive, and they had a piano in there that there was a guy in playing some music at nights as well. But yeah, fantastic. You can see right at the back there the huge windows, and they went right the way around the bar. So yeah, fantastic views. We did sail away from there.
Nice.
Ripples ice cream bar, yeah, very popular on the ship. That was just off the atrium. We sold a good selection of ice creams and various things.
Now there's
Coffees
only
as well.
one problem with Ripples. When I loaded the picture, I gained a pound. I didn't understand that.
I gained 2. And strangely, Chillie, Ripples was actually where you went on board if you wanted to buy the drinks package. So they send you to the ice cream bar to arrange the drinks package. Yeah.
I like the way these folks think.
Now, was the ice cream extra? Or did you pay extra for that?
The ice cream was extra, but you could get coffees from there. They served coffees there as well, which were included if you had the drinks package.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is Anderson's bar. So this is you can see there down on the bottom right, the gin distillery, and it's the only gin distillery at sea. So they had it in the bar called Anderson's, which had lots of, you can see the library at the back, lots of books that you could sit in a couple of areas, really comfy seats, really nice quiet spot during the day. A lot of people in there reading a book, having a coffee, having a wine, having a gin.
No, wait a minute. While you're reading a book, they're brewing gin.
Yep.
And then you drink the gin.
Yep.
To forget about what you're reading in the book.
Correct. And you could buy the gin on board, and you could also do classes to make your own gin. You could brew your own gin.
You go outside and get a pine cone.
Yep.
Grind it up.
But it was a great feature. So as you walked along to the main dining rooms, you passed the gin distillery there. So yeah, it was a lovely feature.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, so this is the Ocean Studios. This is a 4-screen cinema that they had on board. So they had various films going on throughout the day in all the different screens, all day, every day. So there's something there for everyone, but it was just like you were going into cinema. You can see the entrance there with the lights, and they didn't have them on the left-hand side there, but I think eventually they'll put in snacks and things that you can pick from in there, and yeah, the screens are down on the right.
Was that included, Allison, or did you pay extra to go and watch a movie?
No, that was included, Martin. That was all included, as was Taste that you're looking at just now. So Taste was within the Dome, Deck 16. And you see hot dog, pizza, burgers. And I don't know if you can see on the street food, if you can read it, there was reindeer meatballs was also on the menu. And that was all included. So that was up on Deck 16 within the Dome, which is the indoor swimming pool and the glass dome.
Now, I have to stop you for a second on this one. Reindeer meatballs.
Reindeer meatballs. Yep.
Actually made from reindeer?
I didn't ask the question, but
that you would assume that because that's what they said it was.
Yep.
And
I'm guessing they're on there. I don't know why, because I think Iona is possibly doing the fjords at some point next year. So I'm not quite sure if that's why they've kind of put that in there. I'm not sure, but yeah.
She definitely is, yeah.
Yeah,
You had one.
I did. And it was very tasty.
Have
What
you
would you describe
ever?
it?
Where are you
had
trying to go with this, Chillie?
Venison
Yeah, I know.
before? Have you had any venison before?
No.
No.
Not reindeer meatballs.
I'm sorry. I just like grade A stamped on the ass of what I'm eating. It's my problem.
Oh,
with
they had them as well.
reindeer balls, meatballs,
Something different.
whatever.
That's what
Okay,
I
now
was expecting.
back to a serious question. Going through the whole embarkation process,
Yeah.
and check-in and
Testing.
testing and masking and all that. Give us a run through on what P&O required you to do to get on the boat.
Okay, so we had to be double vaccinated, and you have to have your proof of vaccine, which in the different countries could be on the app, could be a letter. In Scotland, I had to have a letter with me. Took quite a while to get to the testing station, so you get a lateral flow before you get on board. That took quite a while. There was quite a queue. They'd increased numbers last week, so that took a while. But once you got there, just a lateral flow test. Check your phone number because you get a message through. Once you've done your lateral flow, very, very quick up into the terminal. They went through a health questionnaire, which you also had to do before you got on board. You had to do on electronically. They went through that again, and literally you were just through that, and I didn't even have time to sit down because they ask you, you go, after you've done your health question, you go to another section and they say, have you got your text yet? If you say yes, you can go straight to the check-ins. If you say no, you have to take a seat. And I literally sat down and my phone pinged with the result of the test. You then go to check-in through security and on board. So once you've done your test, it was 15, 20 minutes, very quick. Just took a bit of time to get the test done.
And then you were on.
And then you were on as easy as that.
You've mentioned that they have social distancing.
Yeah.
What were the masking requirements?
So yeah, wandering about inside, anywhere inside, mask. Outside on the deck, they were fine without a mask. Once you've got to your table in the restaurant or in the bar, take your mask off, that's fine. In the lifts, 4 maximum. So they had little circles on each of the corners. So when you go in, it was 4 maximum. So yeah, so pretty much what we're certainly used to here in Scotland, we still wear masks. So anywhere outside, you're perfectly fine without a mask and just wandering about. And everybody did it. There was just normal. That's what everybody did.
Do you think P&O got the whole process right?
Yeah, I think so. Certainly, I felt completely safe and at ease on board. And say everybody knew what they had to do with the masks, so it just wasn't any issue at all. Everybody stuck to it. The social distancing, it was a little bit difficult in some places more than others. They had still in the main dining rooms quite a few spare tables, and in all the restaurants you saw in the theatre, the buffet, they had a lot of tables. They'd have little "I'm resting" stickers. So you weren't allowed to use those if they were resting. You had little green stickers if you could sit at that table. There was other ones that said that, you know, I'm waiting to be cleaned. So you'd wait till they were cleaned and you could sit down. So they had all those protocols in place, and you got used to them as you were in the ship. Yeah.
Awesome.
And they were
got
cleaning
any questions for
all the
Allison
time.
before I continue on?
I've got a question, Alison. You know, with the first couple of cruises, there was a lot of problems with the app and people having to queue in these virtual queues. And how did you find it? Is it been ironed out? Was it good? Did you find it
I think it's still got some niggles, I think, Martin. It takes you a little bit to get used to it. I think probably what P&O could do better is explain that you're going to book a restaurant, whether it's a speciality or one they included ones like the Olive Grove, and they booked out fairly quickly. I think what they could explain better is just go up to that restaurant, maybe not the Olive Grove because it was really popular and quite small and booked out, but the main dining rooms, some people were joining queues and finding they were knocked out of the queue, and it took a while. But if you just go up to the restaurant, especially if you're a an earlier diner. I think as the night gone, it was a little bit busier, but we never had any issues getting in at all. But yeah, I think P&O could maybe explain that a little bit better to people, that you can actually go and join a physical queue, or they give you a pager, or just go up and ask, and they may have tables that you can go straight in. But yeah, the app, I found the app okay. You could book your entertainment on there, and it was easy to cancel and move about if you wanted to. Theatre got really busy, so it was booked out a couple of days in advance, just purely again because there was so many seats that you were distancing. But the shows were on several times a week, and there was so much entertainment that you just, yeah, you could always find something to watch or listen to.
What capacity were you sailing at?
We were sailing about 3,300, I believe, and I think the ship holds, I think, 5,200, something
So
like that.
About 60% roughly. Yeah,
I think they upped it from about 1,000 to our sailing this week, but I mean, you didn't really notice it, to be honest. There was still quite a bit of space about.
What would it be like if it was full? And you're saying that, you know, it was tough to get in the restaurants. It was tough to get in. What if the ship was packed full?
Yeah, I think once it becomes full, I think all the restaurants and everything will be fully open, I think, and no distancing. There was only 3 out of the 4 main dining rooms open. We've still got 1 to do. There was about another 70 staff, I believe, getting on Saturday, so they're upping their staff as well, which will mean some places can open a little bit more. The Crow's Nest, for example, wasn't open every afternoon. I think once they get staffing and things like that, it'll open more. So I think once the ship is full, everything will be open, and I think it'll be a lot easier. Some venues, I think, will struggle. Some venues were very popular. They did a lot of quizzes on board in the pub, which is called Brody's. They were really popular, and it filled out really quickly. So they may have to find other venues or things like that. But yeah, in general, I think eating will be fine.
How did you do excursions, or did you do excursions?
No, we didn't do any, because we were 7 days, no ports at all. So yeah, no excursions to do. So we didn't do any of that.
Just riding the boat.
Just floating about in the Bay of Biscay.
Awesome. Oh my God,
It was great.
So much. All right, before I go on with more pictures, let's we got a whole bunch of people here in the chat. Let's see if there are any questions. Emily's with us, Carol's with us, Cindy's here, lady from up in Alaska.
First of all, though, we got to start with it's Jack's birthday today.
Oh yes, it is Jack's birthday.
So
happy birthday, Jack.
I think he's like 52.
I think maybe it was yesterday, but anyway.
Well, it's a continuation.
Jack's weekend.
Yeah.
So happy birthday, Jack.
Yeah.
And Jack's from down there in Conroe, Texas, where it's 92 degrees, sunny. Gas was $2.48 per gallon. Wow.
It would be worth driving there for that.
I paid I think mine was $2.89 last time I got it for the truck.
It's never been below $3 here for a long time.
Emily says she loves Allison's new haircut. It's so cute.
Thanks, Emily. Chopped off for the cream.
I have a question for Emily. You know, a rumor had it, Allison, that yesterday Emily appeared at a Greek Orthodox food festival up there in New York, who's fighting the flooding and stuff. And I know her basement got flooded.
Yeah.
But I understand she was a belly dancer at a Greek Orthodox food festival. I know that's just a rumor, folks. I'm not saying that's the truth. It's strictly a rumor, but I have not heard Emily deny it. I just thought I'd say that. Ladies with us from up in Alaska.
Hey, Alaska.
You know, you love cruising when you hop on without knowing where you're going. Isn't that the truth?
Absolutely true, lady.
I love it. Bubba's with us. Hey, Bubba. That's Bonnie, of course, down in Florida. Emily says, good point, lady. Love the shirt, so fabulous. Yeah, as soon as I saw Emma's cat, I said, oh, I got to have me a Hudson shirt. So Bonnie says, yay for Hudson. Great shirt. Chillie has another great shirt to add to his collection. Looks beautiful. Thank you, guys. All right, let's get on. Let's go on with Allison. The hell with my shirt. Hola, amigos. We just got home and tuned in just in time for the gin distillery. Now, Nikki, that's right up your alley.
Oh, I knew that would be Nikki.
Yep.
Nikki and Roger.
And Sonny says, looks great. How's things down in Mississippi, Sonny? You guys got hammered down there too. Nikki says, great photos, Alan. Makes me want to try Iona. Isn't that the truth? Of course, I've never sailed on P&O. I'd like to see P&O come this way so we have a chance at her. Of course, we can't go over that way yet. We're not green. We're red. So it depends on the country.
Dark, deep red.
Yeah. Yeah. Lady says reindeer is good. Oh, my God. You people eat reindeer. That's like, I mean, these people around me eat deer meat all the time. My cousin, I mean, we have to give him permission to hunt on the farm. You know, because he controls half the farm. You know, he and his group inherited half. My sister and I inherited half. We don't hunt. I mean, I'd be afraid to shoot myself in the foot. And I don't like deer meat because it doesn't have grade A stamped on its ass.
Oh, but a good venison chop or a venison roast, slow cooked with having been soaked in vinegar like a sour braten.
No.
Oh, beyond measure. Beyond measure.
Starving now. I'm starving. Not having tea yet.
Hey, I'll have one ready for you tomorrow, Martin.
Come on over. Okay, just go to Minnesota. You ain't gonna get one in my house. I promise you that. Living vicariously through Allison's description of a cruise. I tell you what, I love it. Margaret's with us. Hey, Margaret, how you doing? I haven't seen you for a while. Do you have to do a PCR test coming back to the UK?
No, we didn't. Because we didn't get off the ship and we didn't go to any ports. It was classed as a UK cruise. We just did Southampton to Southampton, basically. So no PCR test for coming back.
I think
Nikki says she ate kangaroo in Australia.
What a kick.
No.
I think over here in the UK, when international cruising starts, which is imminently in the next few weeks, there's a lot of rules that are being discussed at the moment around whether you are going to require a test to come back in, whether you can get off the ship for excursions. And it all hasn't been decided yet because it's a fast-moving environment where hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be getting back to normality and you may have to do the test, but I think they may subsidize part of them. So you'll get a discount on the test you have to order before you go, and then what you need to do, come back in. But the cruise lines are still discussing it with the government at the moment. So I think that might be what Margaret might be thinking for the next cruises, because we're coming to the end of the staycations in the UK shortly, which is very sad.
Yeah.
Well, I go to see my pulmonologist this week to hopefully find out if and when I may ever get away from this damn oxygen so I can go back to cruising. And I think the first cruise I'm going to do is going to circumnavigate South America, start in Fort Lauderdale, go all the way around to Antarctica. I can go play with the penguins down there in Uruguay or one of them damn countries, and then come all the way back up through the Panama Canal back to
Panama Canal.
Yeah, I'm not drinking today either, folks. I'm drinking Diet Coke, no booze today. Jack says that his brother-in-law is a hunter. Oh, I'm so sorry. And regularly provides venison, steak, sausage. I prepare sausage and pancake breakfast for barbecue cook-off breakfast.
I'm going to Jack's. I'm going to Jack's for breakfast.
Yeah. And then Jack's for breakfast, and then my place for supper.
Man,
I'm in.
Yeah, no. Jackie's with us. Hey, Jackie, haven't seen you for a while either. Good to see you. Emily says hi to everybody. Cindy says hi, ladies. No, I'm not a fan of venison either. Thank you, Cindy. I'm glad somebody's on my side.
But if you don't like it,
doing everything right.
If you don't like it, you haven't had it prepared right. That's the simple fact.
That's what my cousin tells me, that I haven't had it, and he prepares it right, he says. And I still don't like it. Oh. I ain't cooking the damn stuff. I mean, these are people who know what the hell they're doing with it. No.
Ooh.
Okay, I got to remember. I got down to Sunny that says this is the time to cruise if you can with reduced capacity. How nice.
Yes,
Okay, I got to remember, Sonny. I left off with you. I'm going to come back to you because we got to get back to some pictures, and I got to change things around to do that. So I got to go here, and I think I was on this dark one that I'm not sure what it is. There we go.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's
it's a little dark, but yeah, not the best photo. But that's the atrium. You can see the different levels, and it had a staircase going up the middle of the atrium to the two different levels. Not your glitz and glam of your MSC, just a little bit understated, a little bit of glitter, but yeah, very, very contemporary, very nice. Very open space, huge open space.
Now, this one just freaks me out, the pool.
Oh, really? They had 2 infinity pools on board, plus they had several, they had whirlpools down there, plus they had several infinity whirlpools dotted about the deck. As you walked up either side of deck 8, there was several little infinity whirlpools, which would probably take about 4 people. Which I thought were great. They were used quite often. So yeah, 2 infinity pools, and I think that was the panorama.
Now, tell me what the infinity pool is, where it looks like you swim right off the end of the damn boat into the ocean. Is that that's what it does? I mean, what it looks like.
One of the infinity pools, I think, is that one that you're seeing. It doesn't actually. That one doesn't actually go out to sea. It just ends at the deck, and then if you look down below, there's balconies and probably about 6 decks below there's a bar, and you can look up and see the infinity pool. So that one didn't go flat out down to the sea.
Okay, that fascinates me because I've not seen one of those in real life.
Amazing, it really does.
Now this looks like some misbehaving women.
Yeah. Met a fantastic group of solos on board, and they had silent disco one night, which was such a laugh. So you were out on deck. It was a lovely night, 2 hours of dancing around and being crazy, and it was really popular. But it was great to be able. You were allowed to dance out on deck. You couldn't dance indoors. So yeah, it was socially distanced as well. There was quite a lot of room either side of the infinity pool. We were out there on deck dancing away for 2 hours. That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Did you know any of these ladies beforehand, or was this new acquaintance?
Nope, didn't know them at all. Kind of connected through Facebook. One of them's on our Cruises for Solos page. So we kind of gathered that P&O didn't really do much for solos. There was a solo meet-up at 9 o'clock every morning, but it was unhosted. And I'm thinking 9 o'clock, maybe not my time of the morning to be getting up too early, and it was unhosted. So I put a shout out on one of the Iona Facebook pages. There was an Iona Facebook page to see if there was any solos, if any wanted to meet up for sail away. So we gathered a few solos, and we gathered 3, 4 more, I think, throughout the cruise. So yeah, there was about 8 or 9 of us. There was probably quite a few more on board, but.
That's why I love solo cruising so much. I did much better as a solo cruiser than I did when I had my girlfriend with me for 30 years.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. So that was in a place called the Clubhouse. So that was on deck 8, just at the back of the Sunset Bar. And we went in there a few nights. So that was a singer that was on. The singer, comedians, soul singers, bands. There was something on every night, and they just do little 45 minute sets, sometimes half an hour, and then go off and do something different. And you can move about the ship to go somewhere else and see another band or whatever. Each venue just did little snippets rather than a 2-3 hour show. It was all little half hour, 45 minutes. So you could either stay in the same place and see a different set from the same person, or move about the ship and see 3-4 people in the one night. It was great. It was really lots of entertainment venues. Yeah, that was the sunset again from one of the infinity pools. Beautiful, lovely up there.
Swim right the hell off the boat.
Yeah, that was my worry to begin with, but it was if that one, if you swam off, you'd end up in the bar on deck 8, so it wasn't too bad.
Good place to end up.
Yeah, so this was in the dome. So this went over 2 levels, deck 16 and 17. And they had that, I think that was a Sting tribute on that night. They had a Dell tribute, they had bands on. And every one of them said, it was an enclosed dome, it doesn't open, we thought it did open. But every one of them said it was the strangest gig they've ever done, in a glass dome on a cruise ship with a swimming pool right in front of them. And then sometimes when the people were playing, there was actually people swimming in the pool, which must have been really strange for them. But yeah, great venue. Will be fantastic if the weather's not so great. They have sunbeds there, they have deck chairs, eating places in there. There's bars, you can get coffees, drinks, wine, and they've got quite a bit of seating round on the 2 decks. And you can also go out onto the open deck from both levels. So if you wanted to go out into the sunshine, you can head out both. But yeah, that was a great venue.
All right, now knowing you and knowing we've done, I don't know how many of these we've done using Allison's pictures. I know there has to be an explanation for why you would waste a picture on a clock.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know what? I absolutely loved this, and quite a few people did. That was actually on the floor. So as you were walking in various parts of the ship.
So as you're going home drunk, it's like, oh my God, it's 12 minutes after 9 in the morning.
Absolutely. And it was in the shopping mall as well, and on the floor. It must have been projected down. And I have to say, I've got a wee story about the clock became very useful for me, because I did what I'm going to call a Pete. On the very first morning, I went by my phone instead of my watch. And I was an hour out of sync with everybody because my phone had gone on to French time during the night. And I thought I was an hour ahead of what I was. And when I hit the clock, walking about, I hit the clock and I realised that I was actually an hour less than I should have been, or I was an hour ahead. So yeah, the clock became my focal point. I love the clocks. And a lot of people did. They must be projected down from the ceiling or something. They were showing live time. They're very clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was little clocks about the place, so that's why I waited on the clock.
I don't know if you want to admit publicly that you're like Pete.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. It's the first thing that came through my head.
Never say that.
Pete's the only person I know that can take a 5-minute story and make it last 55 minutes.
And we weren't even to the ship absolutely. Yet.
Yeah, and it's never got to the
At least I was on the ship.
All right, there's.
Oh, that's a better picture of the atrium. So you can see the staircase, and then there was another one sweeping round to the left to go to the level up. And the lifts come off to there, and straight ahead there was one of the 710 clubs, and then you could go through to they had a little casino on board. Nothing like you guys in America are used to on the big ships. It was quite a small casino, but there was one there. And each little part of the atrium had little corridors that went off leading to different venues, and whether it would be the restaurants or the casino, the shopping mall, various things, the theatre. Yeah, and that's more pictures of the dome in the daylight. A lot of people used to sit in there most of the day. It was nice and warm, no matter the day. They had drink there, food there. There was entertainment most of the day, bands, songs by the pool, things like that. So yeah, it was a nice place to sit. That's just one of the directional signs. They had these on each deck, just giving you directions and showing you what was on board. And because it was a huge ship, it was so easy to get lost.
We got to talk money. Is this expensive cruise? Is this a moderate price?
Fairly moderate, I would have said. Yeah, it wasn't expensive at all. I think it was pretty average for, I think, what the rest of the staycation cruises have been.
Okay, that left a wide open range of.
Yeah. For us, John, they seem to me to be relatively inexpensive.
Okay, so you had your own cabin. You were on as a solo, and you had that cabin as a solo?
Yes.
And can we ask what your total encompassed price was?
Oh, help. I can't remember now. About 1,100, I think.
Pounds.
But that wasn't with the drinks package. P&O don't do the drinks package. You buy that extra. But it was a 7 nights, no ports, continual sailing. So you kind of have to take that into consideration.
Right.
But yeah, huge cabin. Huge
Yeah.
cabin.
That's what, $1,500, $1,600, 1,100 pounds.
But that's all your taxes and everything else. You guys pay as well, and tips are included on P&O as well. Some other cruise lines you add them on.
Yeah.
All tips are included in the fares on
And the
P&O.
quality of the food in the main dining room.
Yeah, excellent. Very, very good. Very good. Limited in the buffet, but that's purely because I think at the moment they don't have the staff and they don't have the capacity to feed everyone. But yeah, no complaints, and a huge variety of food. I mean, they've got a restaurant called the Olive Grove. Oh, that's the deck quoits. That was a really popular area of the ship. They do deck quoits and shuffleboard, and there's just beyond that there is table tennis, and they had archery, and yeah, really popular. They had a restaurant called the Olive Grove, which is Mediterranean. So you've got your Greek dishes, your Turkish, your Moroccan, your Spanish, Italian, and it was included. Oh my goodness, the food was incredible. Very, very popular.
Okay, so that's not the main dining room. There's main dining room, and then this one, and then a buffet.
4 main dining rooms.
Buffet also. Okay. And
yeah, 4 main dining rooms. There was an Indian restaurant called Sindhu. The buffet, the Olive Grove. There's Epicurean. There was an area called the Keys, so it was kind of your fast food mall. So they had a fish and chip shop. They had an Asian food bar, and they also had your burgers and your hot dogs. And then during the day, for breakfast, you go there for breakfast, and they had American pancakes. They had Belgian waffles with all your toppings and your chocolate and your fruit and your maple syrup. They had your English breakfast. You could also get omelets in there. So it changed venue throughout the day, but it was great as well. Oh, there was just
pizza that was all included.
There was, yes, that's all included. The fish
and
the fish.
Also specialty restaurants that you had to pay for.
The specialty, there was Epicurean, Sindhu, the Indian restaurant. They had a place called Keel and Cow, which was kind of a gastro sort of pub that you paid for. The Olive Grove, you paid for a couple of dishes, but I had paella. I mean, it was just huge dish of paella, and I paid £4.50 for it, which is what, $6, $7, something like that. I'm not sure. Yeah. And so they had a couple of dishes that you paid extra, but the vast majority were included. I also went to a cabaret show one night. It was a 3-hour cabaret. There was a drag act on, which was absolutely fantastic. And you get a 4-course meal with that, 4 or 5-course meal, £25 for the show and the meal. And it was fantastic.
Was that
absolutely incredible?
Was it called Lavoir?
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I didn't hear anybody say they didn't enjoy that show, and I would recommend anybody to go to if they're on board or going on board soon. I think Lavoir comes off in maybe another couple of weeks. I think finishes to do a UK tour. But yeah, if you get a chance, if you're going on Iona, if there's anyone there going on Iona, definitely do it for £25. It was a superb night. Fantastic.
All right, we asked you about getting on the boat.
Yep.
How did getting off the boat go?
Oh, so easy. What you can do with P&O is by the Thursday evening, you can go and request your time to go off. If you want to go off a specific time, you just go to the restaurant and ask for your time. What they then do is they give you a note the day before giving you instructions. My instruction was to go to the theatre. As it turned out, we didn't have to go because disembarkation went so smoothly. We were going off early, and then I know on other cruise lines, when you go off, they give you colour codes on your suitcases. P&O just put them in your deck, so when you go off, you go and find your deck number, and your suitcases are there. But yeah, disembarkation was just so easy. I got off slightly later than others, but I don't think anyone had any trouble. Lots of taxis there if you needed them at the port, just not a problem. It was probably one of the smoothest I've ever done. It was fantastic.
Did you have anything to complain about?
No, I wouldn't say so, really. The main dining room was a little bit slow in service sometimes, but you put that down to staffing. Yeah, I think to explain to a lot of people that are listening that the Iona is very much based on entertainment and food, I would say. It hasn't got your water slides, you won't find your go-karts, your climbing walls, nothing like that. It's got a small casino, so if you're really into the casino, it's really small and limited. It's more on entertainment and food. So if that's your thing, then you will have an abundance of things to watch, see, and do. And of course, we didn't have any ports, so there was so much. So, but if you've got ports, then there's more than enough to keep you entertained and fed and watered.
What were the demographics on board?
I would probably say most people were late 40s onwards, upwards, right up to the elderly. There wasn't so many young people. There were one or two, but not many.
Has school started over there already? Has the years started for school for the kids?
And in Scotland, we started about 3 weeks ago. In England, I believe just started or just starting, but they weren't. The kids weren't allowed on P&O at the moment because of the vaccine situation. I think other ships they could go on. There was things there for kids, and there will be families on board. But again, it wasn't a huge. They'll be catered for, but it wasn't the basics like of a lot of other ships. They say there's no water slides and all that kind of stuff. You do have their own area.
Sounds like a wonderful place for me. Oh, go ahead, Marvin.
So, Alison, solos, you mentioned it before on a little bit about you met friends and things. Were you able to all then go for dinner on the same table, or was that restricted or anything?
Yeah, no, they didn't have any issue with that at all. There was no issues with us booking and sitting together. So, yeah, no issues with any of that. So it was great as a solo that you could do that, because otherwise it would be quite daunting, I think, to spend the whole time just eating on your own and just having that solo experience. But no, there was absolutely no issues at all in P&O with that at all.
That's really good. And what about the drinks package? Because I mean, I sell these cruises and I've heard different feelings about them. Is it worth the drinks package? Was there anything that you thought I probably I'm going to say broke even. I'm not quite sure if I did or not. I probably didn't. But yeah, I think that's probably the only one disappointing thing, that I just feel P&O are a little bit kind of don't know where they're at on this one, because Chillie and John explained to P&O a lot of the other ships won't let you take alcohol on board. P&O allow you to take alcohol on board. So you can take a litre of spirits on board. People are taking cartons of wine. You can take beer for your cabin. But as many soft drinks and things like that as you can carry, they allow you to take on board for your cabin. The drinks package was £40 a day. You don't have to, you can buy it up until day 2, I think you've been on board. And if you miss the first day, they obviously you only pay for the 6 days and the 5 days. But a lot of from what I can gather from people that have been on before, a lot of the cocktails that were included in the drinks package are no longer included. So they only had really, really limited cocktails. They won't allow you, for example, if you want a glass of wine, and the large glass of wine it's everything up to $6.95 is included. So even if the large glass of wine was $6.85, you weren't allowed a large glass of wine. You had to have a small one, which is completely nonsensical to me. A gin and tonic, you were allowed a gin, Britvic, but you weren't allowed Fever Tree, which they class as premium tonic, even though the two together cost less than $6.95. So yeah, there was all things like that were very strange with P&O. It just feels like they've kind of lost their way a bit and they're not quite sure what they're doing. So I probably say that's the only thing they really need to sort out. If they want to keep up with other cruise lines and match them for their drinks packages, they need to include a lot more things and stop being so strict about the drinks that you can and can't buy. You go to some restaurant and you get a Merlot, and you go to another one, they say, oh no, the Merlot's not included because it's over the price. The Merlot in another restaurant might be overpriced, so you have to then have a Shiraz or a Rioja. So yeah, the drinks package was the only thing that I'd say that they really need to sort out if they're going to compete with other cruise lines. I've heard they are going to be re-looking at the drinks packages in the coming months. How true that is, I don't know, but I agree with you that it's a lot of feelings I'm getting back as well. Is some of the restrictions are just too much.
Yeah, and it's confusing. You end up going into some bars saying, even though you're ordering something, can I have that on the package? It's not clear whether you can or you're not. You know, even if the price is less than $6.95, which is crazy, you should be able to have pretty much everything. But they did run out of pina coladas on Thursday, and then they ran out of raspberry creme brulees on Friday. So I found something. There was always something on the menu.
Allison, you drank them all in the first 5 days.
We tended to drink quite a lot of the pina coladas, certainly in the Sunset Bar. They ran out by Thursday, but it wasn't all me.
Jeez. I mean, I think the best thing about other cruise lines is if you order a drink, they actually say to you, they either give you the drink and nothing said, or they say, you do know that's not in the drinks package.
Yeah.
So you get the one. I think that's the best way to do it, really.
Yeah, I think the other thing about P&O was if you wanted to order, say, a cocktail that was $7.95, you don't pay the difference. You pay the $7.95 less 20%, which again, a lot of people were saying you should really, you bought the package, you should really be allowed to pay the pound difference. But yeah, P&O don't, they make you pay the full price less the 20%, which is, if you paid the drinks package, why are you then going to pay another £6-7 for a cocktail? Crazy, but they'll sort that out, I think.
All right, I was checking back on back to the chat room. Nikki says, and this is again, goes back to my feelings on that damn deer meat. The last time I had venison, I hit a deer on my way home through the swamplands of South Carolina and totaled my car. Karma.
Whoops.
No, Nikki, if that's the case, you'd be hitting cows every night when you drove home.
But did you take the deer home as well? That's what you need to know.
You can in Minnesota.
Scooped it up right off the road, throw it in the trunk, take it home, butcher it.
Yeah.
No, not me. Let's see. Who else is saying anything worthwhile here?
Everybody
Emily,
is saying something worthwhile. Chillie,
Everybody
that was a bad dig, man. Let's see if there's anything worthwhile I want to say.
These are mostly my regulars. Hell, they know me. I know what I'm saying. Yeah.
I'm with Lady Mirror.
Sonny says, this is the time to cruise. If you can, with reduced capacity, go at it. I agree. Yeah. I wish I could.
So I came up with the next exciting thing that like Royal Caribbean is going to have. Okay. And I want to mark it down that John thought of it first. Are you ready?
All right.
So Royal Caribbean often has 2 ships that are in a port, right? You know, they're on different itineraries, but there's 2 ships that leave a port, like Miami.
Yeah.
So what it's going to be is your luggage and everything goes on the one ship, but you depart on the other ship, and you're actually going to do a zip line from one ship to the other. That is going to be the new exciting thing that you're going to do. As the ships are leaving port, they're going to have a zip line between the 2 ships, and it's going to be higher on, you're going to be on deck 14 on the one ship and deck 8 on the other. And you're going to zip line from, you know, the majesty of the seas to the allure of the seas. And that's how you're going to come on the ship. That's going to be the next new and exciting thing that Royal Caribbean is going to be offering. So mark it down. Mark it down. John predicted it.
Is that with hand? Have you got to take your hand luggage with you, John?
No, everything you see goes on to the ship and is in your room waiting. And but you that's going to be the next exciting. This is the new exciting ride. It's going to cost you like $400, but it's going to be.
You could have a premium service on that, and you could zip line into your actual balcony.
I was thinking of that as I was saying it. That it would you'd like a James Bond thing, and your feet would like go right into the room. Yeah.
Well, I like some of that stuff you guys are smoking today. 7 days at sea would be so nice. I agree.
Oh,
we got a whole bunch of more people. James P's with us. Had venison a while ago. Lady Moore says the pool is gorgeous. Jack says, I'm living proof that you can reduce your dependence on oxygen, if not completely, then to a portable concentrator. By the way, Jack, I did find a portable unit that's on order. Hadn't gotten here yet.
Right.
Plugs into my cigarette lighter, which I found is ironic. Plugs into the cigarette lighter in my truck to run oxygen to somebody that lost the capacity to breathe.
I thought he was going to say it plugs into my belly button.
I wish it did. So anyway, that's on order, and it's so I won't have to be, when I go out and get in the truck and have to mess around with these damn 35-pound tanks of oxygen. It's a pain in the, what. Sonny says, so fun, silent disco.
Yeah,
And there
it
were
was.
several comments about the
I love
clock.
the sound of discos. It's hilarious watching other people, isn't it? Because you haven't got a clue what they're listening to.
Yeah.
Except when they do the.
Yeah, we did that one.
Ditmar Muse says, greetings from Dublin. The P&O I own looks impressive. Love the infinity pool. Even two of them. Crazy. I have to wait one more month and then I'll be sailing again also. Can't wait.
All right.
Awesome. We love to hear from you when you get to go. Lady says, a clock in the floor. I find that hysterical. Emily says, the clock in the floor is cool.
Thank you, Emily.
Well, it'd be logical because the hands are running.
It's good. I think it's a really nice idea.
Yeah.
At least you know what time it is.
Who has 30?
Exactly. If I didn't find that clock, I'd be an hour ahead of everybody else the whole cruise.
Clock on the floor is like Alice in Wonderland, James says.
Or who did that painting where the clocks are melting and running down over the edge of the table?
Me.
No. It was somebody else. Was that a Picasso? Who did the? You know what I mean? You know the painting where the clocks are melting and running down over the edge of the table?
I don't know who painted it, but I do know.
Michelangelo.
No, Mickey did other things.
This is good live air again. I can't think of another damn painter.
Salvador Dali.
Salvador Dali, sure.
The Persistence of Memory, it's called, 1931.
Okay. I'm glad to know that. Bonnie says my channel has been has some cruising stuff, videos on the ibises I feed, and maybe some videos of the dogs and cats. The bubble playing tug of war is my favorite. The zip line was in St. Martin. I could, there's a picture of that John has found about the clocks.
See,
it's great.
I could just see me when I on cruises where I had the $1,000 bar bill, stumbling over that. I'm thinking, oh my God, it's time to go to my room, and that would be in the morning. So, Emily says, Ladies Channel is great. She goes all over Alaska. Oh, they're talking about Ladies Channel. Yeah, I've enjoyed Ladies Channel immensely. A couple of people jumped on Ladies Channel today and subscribed. That's cool. Lady says she loves hearing about all the food. Yeah, but see, Lady, the way you're built as opposed to the way I'm built, you don't want to like food like I like food. Trust me. At least maybe you need to exercise better controls than I exercised all these years.
I've got
a lot of
quick question.
Bourbon along the line.
Iona. You've loved Iona. Your favorite bit of Iona. If you could just say one thing that you must do on board.
The Limelight Club.
Limelight Club.
Limelight.
Yeah. Okay. Limelight Club. Fabulous. Yeah.
That's where they have all the different shows, isn't it? Like Lovois and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and then afterwards there's they open it up and there's bands on or karaoke or something like that. It's just got a really nice atmosphere. It's not very big. It's got quite a low ceiling, and just the shape of it is quite cozy, intimate. It's just really beautifully decorated with a little stage, just like you're being in a little club somewhere. Really, really good.
James says he hasn't seen that painting forever. Nikki says there's a Dali Museum in St. Pete worth the trip. And Margaret has a question for you. did you trip over the hands of the clock?
Several times, Margaret. That was after all the pina coladas.
If you like pina coladas.
Well, I hate to
Getting
tell you
lost
this,
in
guys,
the
but we've
rain.
used up the entire hour again.
Hey,
Wow.
And that's because Allison is so good.
No. And if you're wondering why I've gone dark, it's getting dark here in Scotland, so fading into the darkness.
Well, Allison, I just want to thank you. We love having you on. We love being able
Thank
to
you.
look at cruises and cruise ships through your eyes. It's always just an absolute delight for me, and I'm sure it is for everybody else.
Thank you, Chillie. I've enjoyed
Martin, do you
coming
have
on
anything
again.
else for us?
No, just it's great to see that heading over your way is the Scarlet Lady. She's on her way to New York as we speak at the moment.
Wow.
So that's going to be good. And I think there's a lot more cruising opening up. Europe has opened up for the UK market for starting very soon, I think next couple of days. And we're getting in a better place, guys. Soon you guys will be able to get out there and cruise maybe in Europe. John, I don't know whether you're going to get across for your European one. It's looking less and less likely, I think, isn't it? Which is depressing. Because I was going to surprise you and maybe somewhere, Berlin or somewhere.
it would be wonderful, but I feel worse and worse about it. So it just
But
doesn't
good
feel
things
good.
come to those who wait, John.
I'm sorry?
Absolutely.
Good things come to those who wait.
Yes, yes.
So, but we'll get you on. And Chillie now, he's portable with his oxygen. He'll be getting on them cruises very soon, I'm sure, when you allow
Well,
it.
I hope so.
Fingers crossed, Chillie.
Yep.
Yeah.
That would be lovely. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up.
Okay.
Again, thank you, Allison, for everything. John and Martin,
Thank
thank
you.
you guys
Thanks,
for being
guys.
here. To all of you out there in the La La Land, thank you for being with us and putting up with our silliness and listen to a wonderful job by Allison. And we'll see everybody next Sunday, same time, same channel. This is Chillie, the old fat travel guy, one of the cruise amigos. Later, y'all.
Bye. Bye.